Hello and welcome. I'm Habtamu. Addis Ababa University, the oldest institution of higher learning in the country, has this week organized an event for its alumni. What does it intend to achieve? My guest, Professor Habtamu Wondimu, has been with the university since 1974. A very warm welcome to the program.
Thank you for inviting me.
So what is the rationale behind organizing this Alumni Week? This is for the first time, as far as I know, that the university, which is probably 70-something years old, that has organized this. Why? What is the rationale and why now?
Yeah. Now, let's define, first what we mean by alumni. There are some variations, but generally we mean graduates with diploma, degree, master's, PhD, graduates of a college, university. Some definitions would include also people who might have just attended courses, some certificates or so. Now, as you probably are aware, Addis Ababa University has become an autonomous, shall I say, academic autonomous institution. That implies that the university gets quite a lot of privileges, freedoms, if we might call them, like developing programs rather than the government or someone else telling. The university itself will decide to have psychology or sociology or economics program of this or that sort, so developing programs, revising programs, admission of students based on merit examinations, employment of staff, academic or administrative staff, also on financial matters, a number of administrative issues. So the university itself will decide on those things. And then eventually this autonomy document, guidelines or proclamation states that the university should be able to generate its own income in the long run.
So that's where your former students come in? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So now, to get that, partly that income and to get some support, in addition to there are other functions, the university needs former graduates, the alumni. The attempts might have existed in the past also.
In what form?
To have an association of former graduates.
Of different departments, so organized on their own.
Eventually coming to the whole university-wide. I would prefer perhaps maybe 5-6 areas, because the number of graduates from Addis Ababa University, as also stated by the president last Saturday, is at 286,000 graduates. You cannot have, association of 286,000. I'm sure some have passed away, some are not there, some are abroad, blah, blah. At any rate, so maybe dividing by sectors. Social sciences, education, one grouping, and then natural sciences, technology, another grouping, agriculture, another one, medicine, another one, maybe agriculture, another one, something like that. Grouping in that category, and maybe having an umbrella organization. So that's, it's not only the resource aspect, but there is a lot that the university can gain
from having this former students. But what was the reaction like? I mean, this is a week-long event. What was the reaction like? Was it swift? Was it prompt?
You see, I attended, 2-3. One is the one that was attended by the president of Ethiopia, President Taye at the Ras McConnell Hall. I attended that one. That went really beautiful. It was full packed. But basically that is for very selected professors and the politicians, officials, and very few invited.
The opening, basically.
Yeah,
but what were you expecting?
Now, I would have liked, for example, maybe the ceremony itself taking place in the Christmas Hall that you might know has a capacity of at least over 2,000.
That also doubled as a cafeteria at some point.
Yeah. But this and this is the beginning of the semester, so I'm sure the other possibilities could have been arranged. At any rate, in the afternoons, for example, college level. Alumni, for example, College of Education and Behavioral Studies, College of Social Sciences, College of Natural Sciences, etc. They had their own meetings, discussions, presentations, comments, and so there were various activities. Now, coming back to your question, is it really going as expected, as planned, and how was really the turnout, etc.? I don't know. I don't have the data, but my observation is that people are a bit cautious, and the attendance in some areas is limited from the number that have that has graduated from the university.
You graduated in 1974?
74, yes.
And you started as an assistant lecturer at the same university?
Yes, I was a lecturer.
Boy, that was something like 50 years ago.
Yes, close to 50 years. Maybe 2 years for my PhD I have gone back to school. Otherwise, I have been in Addis Ababa University, former Haile Selassie University, for close to 50 years.
This is probably pretty much straightforward question, but nonetheless, that has to be asked nonetheless. Have your students evolved in a way that you predicted over those years?
Yes. As a matter of fact, much better than I had predicted in my earlier part of my career. You see, I am a social psychologist. The first batch of psychology graduates was in 1977 or so, because we had this Edgat Behebrat, the development through cooperation.
2 years the university was basically closed.
It was discontinued for 2 years. So they came back, and I think they graduated in 1976, the first batch of psychology, and named as educational psychology. But, as I said, I'm a social psychologist, and now we have social psychology master's program, developmental psychology master's program, counseling psychology, educational psychology, measurement evaluation, PhD programs in all those programs. So, you can see, in terms of programs, that is one. In terms of also the competence of graduates and how many, I think, recently I counted president or vice presidents of universities, graduates of psychology, in various organizations, working, competing, and going abroad and being professors who have graduated from Addis Ababa University. My students, my advisees, full professors in several universities in social psychology alone. So, how much we have come and how much has been done, it's really, there was, I feel, tremendous amount of growth despite all the problems that we have.
What are the problems?
Well, so some of the problems are, related to national issues. Some of the problems, for example, the economic problems. For example, lack of funds for research, lack of facilities. We still do not have laboratories in some areas. And also the academic, shall I say, competition, and that my program is better or should grow than maybe the other program. So we psychology was placed in College of Education and Behavioral Studies, and also for some time it was placed under College of Social Sciences for some time. So because of, we belong to both colleges, both areas, as long as psychology can develop fully where we are now, College of Education and Behavioral Studies, fine with us.
Isn't plagiarism an issue at your university?
It is. The real serious issue was a serious concern from all parties, from our bosses, the chiefs, the academic staff, the students themselves. The community at large should be concerned that plagiarism, cheating, academic dishonest behaviors are really widely prevalent throughout the nation, throughout the country. Not only at Addis Ababa University, there are a number of studies which indicate that this is really a big problem that needs to be addressed.
I know that you have undertaken one such study, but how do you intend to fix this? Or what have you been doing to fix this in the years past?
Yeah, one of the studies last year I conducted is on really academic dishonesty, basically focusing on the cheating aspect, plagiarism aspect. Dishonesty, goes much broader than that. But at least, the plagiarism and, the plagiarism is copying somebody else's work and considering it as your own, submitting it as your own. And cheating is, looking at somebody else's papers, or people write on their hands, little piece.
Forms.
Yeah. And so this is rampant. It's all over.
But the most serious one, I guess, as you are advising PhD students, working for their terminal degrees, is that you claim that you have written your own material, your own dissertation, but essentially it's not yours. That's not only bad, but it also challenges the reputation of your university. Have you faced those?
It will affect, and not only in that. The competent ones and those who are honest ones will be hurt and will not be studying, will not be disciplined, will not be working hard. So here are the cheaters becoming really succeeding, if I might use such terms, rather than the ones who do have the competence and the abilities, and those who worked hard and should be the ones who should be getting A's and B's. Now, we have come up with, what you mentioned about the PhDs, MAs. Yes, that's, I supervise about 5-6 PhD students every year. And there is these days, software that checks how much they have really copied, how much they have cheated. So we check, we use that. But what is best is the first time the student gets placed, I am her supervisor, assigned to me. Then we'll have a short discussion on what I call landmarks of PhD dissertation, or the way to get a PhD, from title, topic identification up to the dissertation defense. So in that, when would you prepare your proposal? When would you submit? You will get feedback. Then when do you prepare your tools, data collection tools, then piloting, trying out, drafting, submitting chapters, submitting full document, etc., etc. In those stages, I clearly inform that you do not cheat, you do not plagiarize, because you will be caught anyway. So the machine will catch you anyway. So you alert them, and I am a believer on the growth mindset, rather than fixed mindset. That is, if you provide, if you supervise, if you guide, if you mentor students who do have potential, they will improve, they will learn, they will be more competent than Habtamu. They have become so.
But students will still look fall shortcut to get there.
You'll find some students that will be doing like that, and maybe that is the way they have come. In some place, you have to really stop it. And the university has now come up with a policy, with this software that really can only tolerate this amount or this percentage of maybe copy. So that is, from early on, you try to guide them that this is not tolerable and it's not good for them. They would rather be, competent and really show that present their own work.
What is academic freedom like at your university?
I beg pardon?
Academic freedom.
Yeah. Okay, now the notion of academic freedom, something that Addis Ababa University, with autonomy being granted, technically it means that the teachers, the community, being able to write, speak, disseminate research findings, etc., freely without censorship, without being afraid that the government or somebody will really accuse them or jail them or punish them or etc., etc.
Is that what it is like?
Now, academic freedom comes also with some responsibility. We have, the responsibility to society, to our profession. Do we base our arguments, our findings, our speeches, presentations on evidence? Do we have facts? Do we have, solid grounds? Have we cross-validated what we thought was a fact? These days, there are a number of channels where you get information, and are those informations, are all those what seemingly to be data really accurate? We have to check that. And so, perhaps the existence of the notion of academic freedom will maybe let many, those who have been self-censoring, some amount of self-censorship would exist. Responsibility in some cases might creep in, but that's what academic freedom implies.
So, last week we observed the World Teachers' Day. Do you like being a teacher? What does the challenges teachers face?
Yes.
What does the challenges professors face?
Yeah. Yes, I like having such a day declared. October 5, every year, Teachers' Day is celebrated throughout the world. UNESCO came up with what is called a recommendation on the status of teachers. It was in 1966, but the celebration of Teachers' Day started in 1994, October 6, October 5 every year. Now, that is a year of really acknowledging, appreciating the teachers' work. Teachers affect nations. Teachers really contribute toward development of the young generation. Teachers were the ones who really create knowledge and share knowledge and spread knowledge, etc. And so the need for respect, the need for understanding, the need for acknowledging exists. This year, in the case of Ethiopia, it was celebrated by Ethiopian Teachers Association in Dire Dawa University. Every year, some university sponsors Teachers' Day, and it was celebrated in Dire Dawa University, basically by presentation of some research findings, by speeches, and recognizing some distinguished, well-performing teachers, that kind. I wish it was, really done throughout the nation rather than just Teachers Association and a few, maybe because of lack of resources or maybe because of other problems. But certainly, I feel that that is an important day, and teachers should be recognized. Usually, people tend to go only think in terms of the salaries and the payments, etc. But the status,
of course.
Yeah, that is very important. Yes, but housing is also important. Health is also important. Working conditions are also important. That is, your office is important. The chalk and the books and the workload is also important.
So, what would your recommendation be?
Yeah, my recommendation would be just similar to what UNESCO and the United Nations recommended for this year, that really improving the working conditions, improving the life of teachers, acknowledging, appreciating teachers, all whoever is in whatever profession one might be, they have gone through teaching, whether it is medicine or engineering or astronauts, etc. They were taught. They went through these processes, and so certainly there is a lot that needs to be done.
Professor Habtamu, it was really a pleasure having you on my show.
Thank you for having me too.
እናት ዓለም ውዴ የመኖሬ ዋርታ ክብሬ ነሽ